Welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to use an open source coder called GPT-pilot. Now, there's been a lot of hype about, software engineer jobs are dead, all that stuff. I have never successfully been able to launch a web app for anything. But in the last 24 hours, I have successfully launched a web app using both, first of all, Flask, and then second of all, MongoDB. So I'll show you my first attempt using this frankly amazing tool. So we'll go to terminal, new terminal. This is something that was completely created by GPT-pilot. Remember guys, I cannot code. Just remember that. So we have a whole interface here. I'm going to log in and I'm going to show you what this thing can do. So it comes to this page here. Let's click e-commerce listicle. We'll add the website, keyword. We'll upload some products and we'll put a secret key, which I will delete here. And then we should see that it says get generate type e-commerce listicle. This was the first ever time I used GPT-pilot. And yeah, I really could not believe just how good the results were. Okay, so that did take quite a long time, but you can see here there's a pretty nice article that's been generated. Put this on ChatGPT. I will not be releasing this, by the way, because I'm just playing around. Now, format this article, and we'll see that it's done a pretty good job of writing an article. Now, I would choose a different topic. Black tie attire is too specific, but you can see it's done a great job. I really like the content. Claude is much better than OpenAI at giving context and just making like these really nice articles that just fit well together. Now, this wouldn't do for black tie attire just because you can't really wear any of this to a black tie event, but that's fine. Let's get into how to use GPT-pilot. Now, I'll say right now, this is a little bit complicated, especially if you're not a coder. And just so you know, I am currently using GPT-pilot to make an SEO app in the background. So let's get started. So this is the GPT-pilot GitHub repository. I'll say now this is the most impressive one that I've actually used. It's one that actually seems to work, whereas a lot of them don't. So shout out to Pythagora. So this is the back end of the one that I showed you before. So we'll do file, new window here. I don't know whether to save that, so I'll just press don't save. Okay, so go to terminal, new terminal, and obviously we're going to start off with a git clone. So we'll do git clone. We'll have to call this something else. So video GPT pilot. Now bear with me guys, because this stuff is kind of complicated. I've already done all of it, but you're going to have to do all of this if you haven't done it already. So we'll do pip install virtualenv, which installs venv, or venv as people call it. This should already be downloaded, so I don't know what the hell it's downloading right now, but I mean, I guess. Okay, we'll cd inside inside video GPT pilot, and we'll just do pip install virtualenv again, and we'll let that load. Okay, that's now done. So now I believe we have to make our virtual environment. So we'll do virtualenv gpt-pilot-environment. Could also be this one though. I do kind of get confused at this point. So we have created the virtual environment. Perfect. Now we'll do Python environment like that. So we'll press enter here. This should take us into the virtual environment, I believe. Apparently not. Okay, we now need to set the execution policy. So we'll do Windows key X, Windows PowerShell admin, run this command, and then also run this command here. And then we need to run the activation script, so this one here. Now we can see that we're inside this green thing. This is the VM, okay? So we are now inside the VM. Once we're inside the VM, we want to do cd pilot. Oh no, sorry, we want to install the requirements first. So we'll do pip install -r requirements.txt, and that should start to install all of the requirements for GPT-pilot. Okay, so this should just work now. So I'm going to do cd pilot, and then I'm going to do python main.py. And then this should just start running, so it doesn't run. Oh yeah, I need to change the environment, the env file. So we'll do open folder here. We'll look for video GPT pilot, select it. What you can do instead of searching for this, you can like manually, you can just search for env, and then look for env.example and click inside here. So we now need to add the OpenAI endpoint, which is above. They actually give it to you. You can change the model, you can change the max tokens, and then you just need a API key. So we'll go to API keys here. I'll delete this API key at the end of this video, so please don't bother trying to copy it or whatever. It's going to be deleted, and so is the Claude one that I showed earlier as well. Okay, and then we'll hit save here, and then we will rename this manually instead of doing this programmatically to .env. There we go. Now when we go to terminal, new terminal, we have to do all that again, unfortunately. I kind of hate doing this because I never remember which one's which. There we go. And then we'll cd pilot, and then python main.py, and then that should work. There we go. Okay, please save this, okay? For the love of all things holy, save this, because I did not save it. No one told me to save it. And I lost the first project that I showed you the example of. So what I suggest you do is you open a notepad, you Control-V this, Control-S this, and save it as GPT pilot app ID or something, okay? Do not lose this. So what is your project name? Let me think of something that we can build. Let's build like a keyword tool. So we'll call this keyword tool. Describe your app in as much detail as possible. It uses the Claude API, which I can give you updated information about, and MongoDB and Node.js to create a keyword tool that takes inputs like inputs of .csv or .text files, and which is the context of the business, and then gives tailored keyword suggestions. There should also be a part of the tool that allows them to upload their current blogs to not give duplicate ideas. Okay, and then I think it's really important to mention how you want to do users. So in this case, I'm going to do the system that I'm currently doing. So I will use MongoDB, which I learned yesterday, by the way. Like, literally had no idea what Mongo was until yesterday, and then yeah, I just learned about it. So I download MongoDB, guys, and install it, and also download Node.js because you're going to need it. I will use MongoDB for my users. I would like to verify each user manually. Okay, let's press enter here. So it actually says it's good at Node and MongoDB. That's why I decided to use MongoDB. Yeah, so endpoints. It's asking for specific endpoints. So what I'll do is I'll go to Claude API documentation, and I'll give it the endpoints for. So we'll go to clients SDKs, and we'll take TypeScript, which I think works with JavaScript. Yeah, so we'll just give it this, and we'll give it this here. I think TypeScript works with the vanilla JavaScript. Actually, I have no idea. So we'll hit enter here. For example, so it says, what specific criteria or parameters should the application use when generating keywords? For example, are there particular keywords, phrases, or concepts from the input emphasize it or exclude it? Yes, one of the uploaded files will be a CSV of their current blog post. This should be checked against to remove duplicates. Also, they can include their collections, a list, a CSV of their collections and products, which will help increase context. Okay, for the functionality where the application checks against a list of current products, could you specify how you'd like to be? So with the Claude API, it is an LLM and can read and understand the URL slugs. How would you like the application to handle situations where the Claude API suggests a keyword or topic that is not exact match but is very similar to an existing? It should not include anything that is semantically similar to a current blog post. Okay, so we're making some progress. We're on dev step 4. We normally get to about dev step 500 until we have anything that's particularly usable. This does take a lot of time, guys, but what I will say is it's a hell of a lot cheaper than a software developer. Okay, so for the feature allowing users to upload files, CSV or text, with the context of the business, could you clarify what specific information these files will contain? They will contain all of the current pages of the client website. Regarding the manual user verification process you mentioned, could you please outline the criteria or steps you envision for verifying each user? For example, is there a specific information you require upon registration? No, I will just verify people. Okay, so then what it does is it gives you a big description of what it's going to try and do. So we will give this a quick read. Overall description and goals. The goal is to develop a keyword suggestion tool that leverages the Claude API for generating tailored keywords based on the context of the business. This tool will accept inputs in the form of .csv or .text files containing URLs of all the current pages, blah, blah, blah. Features users registration and manual verification. Users can register by providing essential information. The admin manually verifies registered users before granting access to the tool. Perfect. File uploads, yes. Keyword suggestion generation with Claude, yes. Duplicate and semantic similarity checker, yes, yes. That's fine. Okay, so we'll just press enter here and it will then start. Okay, so the first thing it'll do is it'll check if you have Node. So make sure that you've already installed Node.js. Just Google it. It's very, very easy to install. And you'll see it'll say CLI output. And if it's green, it means that it's worked. Okay. Now it's going to do Mongosh version. And because I still haven't managed to get Mongosh on my computer, I don't know why. Because if I do it here, it was working last night at 5 AM when I was doing this. And yeah, it works. So I don't know why it doesn't work here, but it's fine. So we'll just press enter here. And then we'll press enter again, and it'll run npm install. I find this really cool and really interesting, and just like amazing that it can do all these things. So we'll let this run. What it'll do is it will install a node instance, basically. Okay, so we have our first human interaction. What it says is, I need human intervention. Create an uploads directory in the root of your project to store uploaded files before processing. So what I need to do is I need to go to workspace. So we're in keyword tool already. So I think I can just press new folder here. So in the root of your project. So this is the root, I believe. So we'll do new folder and we'll call this uploads. And we will say continue and press enter. Okay, so we have our first run attempt. So what you want to do when you see all this blue and yellow, it'll say action, step 1 action, start the server using npm start. So if I scroll down, it'll say if you want to run the app, just type R and press enter. So I'll type R and press enter. and it'll run npm start within this. So as soon as there's an issue, so you can see there's an issue here. So what it'll do is it'll start to debug the issue. The issue is obvious. I haven't installed the requirements.txt because it didn't ask me to. So we're just going to install everything one by one. npm install CSV parser, press enter here, and it will just run npm install. And then now it will do this all over again. So if I do press enter here, it'll do npm start. And we should see, there we go, server running, localhost. So we'll control click here. Perfect. We have keyword tool. We are getting somewhere. So let's scroll up and let's see what it wants me to check. So you should see messages saying that it's running and database connected. So does it say database connected? It does say database connected successfully. And that is because I'm already running MongoDB in the background. You will have to get to grips with MongoDB. I'm using MongoDB Compass. It seems pretty easy, to be honest with you. So, prepare 2 files for testing. Create a .csv file named pagestest.csv with several lines, each containing a URL, and another one called blogtest.csv. Okay. We'll do that in a minute. 2 files are ready for upload. Yep. Action 3. Since the front end for file upload isn't implemented yet, use curl to simulate file uploads. Open a command prompt and run the command to upload. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that means. Oh, there it is. So we'll do run here. So command prompt, paste this. So we need to make one. We'll just do products.txt. See if this works. I'm just curious. So open this. Copy. I want the whole thing. So we get rid of this. Pages file. Products1.txt. Oh, file uploaded and processed successfully. So that looks like that is now being uploaded. That's amazing. Cool. Okay, so that works. File uploaded and processed successfully. Okay. Similarly with CSV, I can't be bothered testing that. Use a MongoDB database viewer like Compass to connect your database. Check the collection's name, page URLs. So if I go to MongoDB contents, reload. Okay, so I believe somewhere on this page I'm supposed to see what I just uploaded before. Doesn't seem to be showing me anything. So that is a fail, I believe. Okay, so it looks like it's picked up its own error here. So what happens when this happens is it will just start again in a minute. Okay, so I actually control-C'd this. This is going to be quite a long video, by the way, because I do want to show that this thing actually has a use case. It's not just bull crap like all of the other ones that I've seen. As long as you're patient with it. Okay, so this is the reason that I couldn't see it inside the MongoDB. What you have to do is, it hasn't told me to do this, but if you go to the .env file inside the workspace keyword tool, and just press copy connection string here, and just paste that, like that. If we do the same thing again, so I can't do it right now because I haven't got, it's not running, so I just have to wait for this to start running for 1 second. Okay, so we can do npm start again. You can see database connected successfully. We'll open this up and we'll try the file upload again. So this time it's been uploaded and we'll click on page URLs, blog posts, I'm not sure. Let's reload this. Still doesn't seem to have been uploaded. Oh, interesting. So if you look in the error here, it says unsupported file format, which is strange. So we'll see what it does with that. So this is one of the kind of annoying messages that you will occasionally get where it says, do you want to try and make the same request again? Because basically it has failed. All you have to do is press enter, and it sometimes will keep failing. Just keep pressing enter. Okay, so you can see this is actually now quit out, so there's actually been an error. But because I saved my app ID from before, I can just run this without all of that, obviously. And then what that's going to do is it's going to start the exact same project again. So it says, did you make any changes to keyword tool? No. It still says incorrect file type for .text. Okay, let's see. I just left it for like 5 minutes just to do, its bit. So I need to run npm start. So I need to actually open it on another Visual Studio Code. So we'll open folder. I've got loads of folders right now. It's getting a bit crazy, not gonna lie. Workspace, keyword tool. So we'll select this. No, I want another one. I know that this folder's already open. Okay, I'm gonna try and split terminal. I don't know how any of this works. To be honest with you, I'm a bit of a noob, but there we go. Okay, so we'll do npm start. Oh, it can't because this is active, so we'll cancel this. And we'll do npm start again. Okay, running, perfect. We need to do the file upload to see if this works now. Unsupported file format still. So we'll just cancel this. What you need to do basically, guys, is every single time you need to make sure that everything is working, okay? So it looks like I actually need to do the CSV one first. So what I'll do is because it might not have developed the .text version. So we'll open this file location and we'll actually rename this to .csv. Doesn't change the actual. How do I change the actual extension? Okay, so we'll try this with a CSV because it might not have hi.csv. Okay, there was a double .csv. That's why. It's still not working. Oh, it's literally called hi.csv, hi.csv. That explains a lot. Let's try and upload it now. It's just not working. Okay, so it says invalid file type. Only CSV and text files are allowed. But I have just uploaded a CSV file, so there's obviously an error here. So, yeah, big error. So we'll copy this and we'll put this into the other terminal and we'll paste that. And then just press enter, and that will basically. So what is the expected behavior? Upload CSV file. Doesn't work. So that should, that should just start fixing that basically. Okay, so let's see if the registration process works on my app. So we'll do. Oh, I already have an account. It's kind of confusing how this works, but because it's in the same MongoDB, yeah. So I'm logged in, and if I go to /uploaded files, then there is nothing. So if you want to know how to really start to shape the app, basically every time you see this yellow and blue and they ask you to test, if something doesn't work, you have to tell it, or it will assume that everything is working. If you say continue here without telling it that, .text file uploads work, .csv do not, it will not work properly. You have to go very, very slowly. You have to be patient. Can you please provide logs from the backend? Yes, of course I can. So let's go to the command prompt and we'll show this and we'll paste it. What is the expected behavior? .csv upload to work to. .csv upload doesn't work. And you just have to keep doing this over and over and over. And it doesn't seem very fun. But, I mean, the cost is not that high. Let me show you how much I've spent in the last 72 hours. Pretty much, just non-stop. I probably haven't stopped. This is like 6 web apps. Not all of them work very well. This is like maybe 4,000 conversations with this tool. So, I mean, $83 is basically nothing. This is literally, yeah, it's 3 or 4 tools, maybe. So the 17th of March, oh no, sorry, the 17th of March was yesterday. So it's these two. It's like $200 for a lot of conversation. It's actually less expensive than you might think to use this. Okay, so now we have to test again. So we'll do R and then hit enter, and that will start the test. We'll open this up, and then we will try to send a CSV file. There we go. And then we'll try to send a text file. What is it? There we go. Looks like they were both uploaded successfully. We can see receive file for processing hi.csv, receive file for processing .text. So you can see this does take quite a long time. This took me about half an hour, but now we have a pretty robust system of being able to upload files. So if I just log in here, and then maybe if I go to file uploads now, no, okay, page not found. Let's see what it's actually telling me to do. So yeah, these two, I've done both of these. Use a MongoDB database tool. Check the collections named page URLs and page blog posts. So page URLs. No. 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 Blog posts. Blog posts. There's literally nothing here. Okay, so what I'll do here, because I believe that it being inside the MongoDB is pretty important, or MongoDB. So we'll just cancel this. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm just going to say I cannot see it inside my MongoDB collections. So we'll just tell it that, just so it knows. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. There it is. Right, finally. So you can see now, keyword tool DB doesn't seem to have received anything there. It's quite fun, like, using an app that you made or that something made, and you actually have no idea how it works. Okay, so it looks like I need to add a new user because I'm on a different database now, which is good. So now I understand a bit better how these database things work. Like, you actually have to put the name of the database after. So we'll log in here. Okay, now we are logged in. If I run this and this, or this. Hang on. Need to get rid of one of these C's. There's 2 C's. There we go. Now, if I reload, no, it still doesn't work, but that's okay. At least we're getting somewhere. Okay, so the final thing I want to talk about is not getting too stuck. So you can see this here. Use MongoDB database viewer tool to check the collections named page URLs and blog posts. You should see the URLs from page test.csv stored in a page URLs collection, and the URLs from blog post test.csv stored in the blog post section. Just before I continue, I am going to try and do something. I'm going to try and actually use the names that they've told us to use. Okay, forget it. Basically, what I want to talk about is not getting too stuck. So this isn't working quite exactly as it's supposed to. There's some little issue with it not showing up in my MongoDB. But I've just said continue because I'm sick of working on this particular problem. And it seems to be uploading files properly, and we can always go back to this in the future. So what it'll do now is it'll start doing the second task. And yes, I have just used about half an hour on one task. This does take time, guys. It takes a lot of patience. It does mess up a lot. You do need to know a little bit about programming, but the end result is pretty bloody awesome, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So just as a final thing, this is what I'm working on. This is what I've been working on in the background. Whether this will be released for free or not, yeah, we'll have to see. So I go to /generate, and I say write an article about black tire for men. Now this might not work. I have been having problems with this. But yeah, we can see if I go to dashboard, for example, then this is eventually, something like what this tool will look like. I'm still testing, I'm still working on this. It's taking quite a long time, but yeah, I have the app ID and I'm planning on making a pretty good app. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're watching all the way till the end, you're an absolute legend. And yeah, go make your own little web app for under $50. Peace out.